Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Brandwers Podcast. I'm your host, Arab, along with my co-host, Edwin. Today, we have on a very special guest, a rapper who goes by the name of Marc Goone. I never knew how to pronounce it, bro. Is it Marc Goone? It's Goone, huh? It's Goone, yeah. Man. As big of a fan as I was, I never knew how to pronounce it. And I would always say both whenever I would tell someone, Marc Goone. I don't know how it's pronounced, man. Just listen to the fucking song. He's an artist on fucking, he verified everywhere, but he's decided to officially quit making music, a new chapter of his life, and kind of wanted to have him on the podcast. Number one, because I'm a big fan, and number two, because I feel like in all these stories, you never get to hear about the people who go to LA, who, grind their ass off and end up they find success, but they don't find happiness, and it throws them the other way. So Marc, welcome to the fucking podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Awesome to be on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, so I found you off of a few of your songs. One is called American Product, Young Walter White, Michigana Rap. Those were, I think, an older style of yours where you didn't really use autotune back then either, right? Like your newer album that you just released, Croquet, I believe you autotuned a little bit, correct? Or
yeah.
Oh, auto-tune. He's got it tattooed on his. So you've evolved over time, and recently, a few days ago, you posted on your Twitter that you were quitting, that you moved to LA. Can you explain to us that process? Like, you moved there to pursue music, and then like what happened? Take us through that whole thing, because a lot of your fans saw that post where you went, you love fucking gambling. Just take us through that whole step. Like, why did you decide to move to LA? What happened while you were there?
Yeah, so I basically I had a song called Lamborghini Tears, and it was getting a bunch of traction, and I was having a bunch of meetings with labels. I've always been very, very anti-label.
Okay.
But I was taking meetings. So what I was trying to flip that into was a publishing deal. Because this was maybe, I guess, like 2016, 2017. And I kind of like foresaw that like publishing was essentially going to be worthless in a few years. But labels were still giving out like publishing deals, right, to like songwriters. So I'm like,
what's entailed in a publishing deal?
Yeah, define a publishing
deal. Because I'm
sure people don't know. Yeah.
Edwin knows about music and shit, but a lot of our viewers are part of the YouTube scene, the esports scene, and a lot of us, I personally don't know what the fuck a publishing deal is.
Yeah, so essentially there's two sides, like old school, like the music is split. There's the mechanicals, which is like the person who records the song. So like the person's voice, and they get the mechanicals, and then there's the publishing, and the publishing is the person who writes the song. And sometimes it's the same person, and sometimes it's not. And publishing, there's only real money in publishing if the song is placed in a movie, in a TV show, in something like that. So like, as far as streaming, like the publishing royalties are essentially like 9% of the total 100% pie of streaming. So like, there's not any fucking money in publishing unless the song gets placed in like a TV show or a movie, essentially.
So you wanted your music in that?
No, I just like, I was broke at the time, and I was like, shit, labels are giving out to songwriters 6-figure publishing deals to guys who can write.
Writing for someone else?
Writing for someone else,
okay.
Yeah, like a ghostwriter.
And you are fucking good at writing, bro. I'm not gonna hype you up. I hyped you the fuck up to Edwin yesterday. We were listening to your old song. So
did you ever end up writing for somebody else in that, or no?
So like I was in a bunch of sessions. My first couple months in LA, that's all I did is in sessions writing for and with other people. You never, some sessions would be like, this is for person X, but some sessions would be like, yo, we have a placement in Fast and Furious or whatever, so we need like 5 songs for the movie. So but yeah, I was just thrown into sessions with a bunch of like really, really talented people, and I kind of realized, wow, I felt like like a high school basketball player, kind of like
Playing in the NBA.
yeah. I mean, because like I would step into the room and these people like they would literally like shit out a song in like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'd be there like just on the mic, just like making noise, you know, like I'm over there like, like trying to come up with like a melody. And these guys like whole song, like hook, verse, like everything.
Did you ever listen to Juice WRLD studio sessions?
Yeah.
Dude, isn't it crazy that motherfucker can just like sit there and have a studio session for like 2 hours and just make 3 albums out of it? Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I mean that's what these people were doing, and I'm not like that. I have to like sit there, and it takes me a minute. Like,
but your writing is way different. Your writing is way it's very analogy, metaphor. Like they're like the people that do what they do in the studios, like in a 2-hour studio session. If you can make a fucking 3 album whatever in a 2-hour studio session, that means your music's pretty nonsensical. It just sounds good. It's a lot of earworms. You get what I'm saying? Like the hardest. I'd say like the hardest part of music, in my opinion, is making a really, really catchy hook and stuff like that. Like people aren't good at that. You know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree. That's the hardest part of music. And like the part of music that I was good at the time was not the part of music that was the hardest part of me. Like writing clever shit and having good metaphor and stuff like that, that doesn't matter for making a catchy song. And that's what people don't really like understand.
Right.
It's like the hardest part is like making a hook that sticks in your head, and that is hard. It's really, really hard.
Right, but
so I felt like I was in over my head, and like looking back on these sessions, like the people I was in sessions with were like one of my first sessions was with like Jessie Reyes, and that was before she had like 500 followers on Instagram at the time, and now she's huge. And I was with Scooty and Mikey from Social House, who like wrote Ariana Grande's whole last album, and like, but at the time, like these people, you know, they had done nothing, but like these were the people I was in sessions with, and I was like, wow, like they don't have any name, and they're amazing, and like I can't keep up.
So what happened?
I was like, I'm not good at writing for other people. I want to write for myself. Like I kind of went back to writing for myself, but at the same time, like I had kind of started playing poker, and I started making a lot of money.
Right.
So I was doing that. You know, I was writing every day, and
it was successful for you.
Yeah, super successful. Like right off the bat, and it came easily.
Skillfully. Or like you think you got lucky? Like, are you good at poker? Because there's people that are good at poker, obviously. You know.
No, I've played for a living.
Okay.
I've played for a living for 5 years. I play the highest stakes games in Los Angeles now. But I will say, like I was okay, but like I definitely ran good. I ran hot the first few weeks, and that like if I wouldn't have run hot, I wouldn't have gotten so into it. My first couple weeks here, like I had studio sessions every night, but I would go play poker every day, and I made a ton of money, and I was like, wow, shit.
You remind me of TikTok's algorithm. Like when you're new to TikTok, they'll boost the fuck out of you your first few videos, just so you get addicted. People don't realize, like I have friends that 0 followers, 0 anything. They'll make this cool video, and it's a great video, you know, something extravagant, whatever. Boom, 5 million views first video, and now they're addicted, and all their other videos get 100 views. You know, but because that first one hit, boom, now they're addicted, and TikTok's really fucking good at that. So I'm glad you said that, because that applies to so much in life. So you started hot poker. What happened next?
Man, I moved in. When I first moved to LA, it was my friend who's a songwriter and rapper, singer. He convinced me to move out to LA. And he was working on he's a songwriter, but he was working on his first solo album, and I brought the whole studio. The whole setup. So every day he'd be like, yo, I got to work on my album. So I couldn't write or record. So I just go to the casino and play poker every day. And while he was working on his album, and then I come back at night and work on music. But yeah, I was my first week in LA, I think I made more money than I had made the previous 6 months working a part-time job. So I was like, holy shit, this could be,
how old are you?
I am 33.
Nice.
What?
You don't look it. Holy shit, at all.
You're not 33.
Thank you. I am 33. Yeah.
No, bro. You look like you're fucking 25.
Yeah, you look like you're 20. I was gonna guess 23.
I appreciate it. Yeah, that was when I first moved to LA. That was the first question all the labels asked. They're like, "How old are you?" And I would just say I'm 44. Or,
they-
how old are you? And I'd be like, oh, I'm 16. Like I just
all
give a different
jokes-
answer every time.
All jokes aside, do you think that they had a preference to age? Like, do you think if you're younger, a label will like, you get what I'm saying? Like, is there a preference in that?
100%, yeah. Because
So,
like
if you're younger, they like prefer you.
100%, yeah. Because like
Yeah.
if it doesn't mean you're better at making music if you're younger. It just means like so
You're more
you think about,
marketable.
like, yeah, you're more marketable because like the people who are listening to new music, like you think about it, like we stop listening to new music. Most people, like by the time they're 24, 25 years old, they're listening to stuff they listened
Release
to when they were
Radar,
18,
which is like,
19.
yeah. I'm on that. He makes fun of me.
I agree, but I disagree at the same time because I think that yeah, you listen to old music that you've like listened to before, but I think that music's availability nowadays is a lot different than it used to be. Because I remember being on YouTube in 2006, 7, like trying to find new music, like scouring the internet to find like new artists because I was just bored of the shit I was listening to. But nowadays it's so easy, bro. Like Arab said, just go on Release Radar. You know, you just go on.
But
like,
Release Radar isn't new people. That's the thing. But it's mainly people that you know. No, it's mainly people that you know that you listen to already. So it's like your taste.
My Release Radar is all random people.
That's not how Release Radar works.
I think you guys are maybe slightly different. I mean, you guys do shit on the internet.
Yeah, yeah,
True,
sure.
So like, I mean, you got to think about like the average like 25-year-old person in like Oklahoma or something. Like,
True. You used the Oklahoma example, man. That's fucked up.
My thing is,
wait, are you from Oklahoma?
No, I'm just saying.
oh,
Like,
does he
that's
look
some
like
real,
it? He's a fucking Sacagawea Indian.
yeah. That was racist. You think I'm from Oklahoma? That's fucked up, bro.
No,
He's fucking with you, Mark. Mark, he's fucking with you, bro.
I'm gonna cancel you. Is all I'm saying.
Oh man.
I agree with that statement because, I mean, specifically me, like 80% of my music tends to be, you know, people I already listen to, or even more, like 90% of my people I already listen to are songs that Edwin comes in my room and fucking makes fun of me. Him and his girl both make fun of me because I listen to throwbacks. I listen to fucking.
No, he does, bro. He does. It's so
You know,
funny
I listen to
when he
fucking-
works out. When he works out, he's playing songs from like 2007, which I respect because like they're good songs. They're not bad. I mean, there's a reason he's still listening to them. Like I know them, right? They're good songs, but I'm just saying, like, you know, like, yeah, I guess you guys are both right. There's more people that listen to old music by the time you get like to 25. Makes sense, you know.
Do you think a reason they also appeal to younger like creators is because it's easier to be predatory, like in contracts to them? Because you as an older artist, you know, you have a part-time job. You've been through the hardships of life for, you know, in your early 20s. You've now been able to like you know how to make different revenue streams, and you don't rely on necessarily getting rich quick or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do think there could be something to that as well, because I do think labels are predatory as shit. Like, I think they all are. I think, like, at least major labels, like, they're horrible.
yeah.
They're
So
horrible.
So you moved into fucking. You're talking to these. Sorry, you moved into poker. You're talking to these labels. Mm-hmm. What was the next step? You know, you're when your friend was recording on your setup, was it kind of like an excuse to be lazy and go do poker because you liked it, rather than be like, yo,
sure.
okay. It was like it was
yeah, for sure.
It was like we're both the things aligned, right? And you're just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, it was like, well, I
He
can't
was, yeah,
really...
for sure, immediately. He didn't even hesitate. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, like, what am I gonna, like, he's recording, so like I was like, this is my excuse to like, and to be honest, like, I told like my girlfriend at the time, I told like my dad, like, I'm moving to LA to like, you know, because, you know, I can do this writing shit, like I've got meetings like all the time, I can be in these sessions, but like truthfully, like I was like, I heard the poker games are really good there, so like I got money, so.
Hey, I have a question about that. So, and we've had like a few recently. We've had some musicians on, which is cool for this podcast specifically. It's getting a variety of guests on, but and every guest that we have on that's in the music industry, I learned something new because I'm like, oh, I should have asked them that question like the last guy. So I'm gonna ask you a question. Everyone always says the same thing. I moved to LA to get meetings with labels. How the fuck do you get meetings with labels? Like, if I was to right now decide I wanted to make music, how would I buy a plane ticket to LA and just have everyone has meetings somehow? Are you guys all at the same meetings? Like, I don't get it.
They came to me.
Oh,
It
they
was
come
just,
to you.
yeah, because like I had a song that was like just doing well on streaming with like no push, no video, no nothing, just like I put it out and it just like, like 1 million streams or whatever first month. So like,
We can
which
play
at
a
the
little bit.
time was like, that was a lot more than it is now, I guess. I think maybe, I don't know.
I
But,
think it was for sure. It's,
yeah,
I mean, right now it's at what, 4 million?
yeah, around there. But like at the time, like Spotify wasn't as
No.
Oh my God,
Is
it
that how to say
wasn't.
that word?
Yeah.
Ubiquitous, good word. It's the word game, man. It's fucking, it's good.
Yeah.
I bet you used that for a metaphor before, huh?
Yeah. Sometimes.
But okay, so the answer is you just have to have talent. Well, then I'm fucked, my friend. All right, moving on.
No, I mean you don't really. I mean, like you don't
Oh
really
my
have to
God,
have
talk
talent to make
shit,
money in
talk
music.
shit, talk shit. Who are you talking shit about?
I'm just saying.
No,
like,
no, it's cool, bro.
I think there's like a base level of competency, right? Like if you have like a base level of competency, it's honestly probably like 80% marketing and image and like 20% like being at this like floor of like good enough to have like a presentable product.
Yeah, we had Cam Holler on. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's really big on like the YouTube rapping scene, and like he does YouTube videos reacting to rappers, and he was telling us too that the exact same thing you just said is these rappers, the best thing they're good at is marketing. They know how to fucking push shit, bro. And it's in like ways that you wouldn't expect. They just know they can fire on all cylinders when it comes to pushing their product. But yeah, 80% marketing. You don't even have to be. A lot of the times you just listen to some of the music, you're like, this is shit. But like, why do people like them? Because they build like around their personality or whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's all personality. Yeah.
You know what I find interesting? That your style of music, just as I've heard it, would be a lot more popular around the time of like battle rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like the metaphors, the entendres, like stuff like that. Like I feel like that kind of rapping is like not as appreciated these days. Like these days, it's like people don't even listen to lyrics anymore. They just listen to the beat and the mumbles, and that's it almost.
Yeah, for sure. And I don't know. I used to be like real rapidy rap. I'm definitely, at least like this project was a lot more melody.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But I still I put a ton of time into like the concepts and the words and like the thought behind it when like, even though I know like the most important thing is like, and the hardest thing, like you said, is like having something that is
hooks,
catchy.
Yeah.
You started music when?
I think like 12 years ago.
Okay.
Was the first time like I was in a studio and like made
You're 21?
Yeah.
And Young Walter White was one of your first songs?
That was probably like 4 or 5 years after I started music.
So you wrote a song, Young Walter White, about how you were basically selling weed while funding the music dream. Is that a real song? Is that a true song?
Yeah, 100% true.
Take us through that
100%.
process, because I fucking love the lyrics to that song.
Thank you. Yeah, so I guess it kind of started in like college. Just how everybody else starts. Like you get an ounce of weed, and if you sell a little bit to your buddies, like you get an eighth for free. You smoke an eighth for free, essentially. So like, it just kind of started like that, and pretty soon, like it became like I realized, hey, like if I do this, I don't have to like work in a restaurant or like be a busboy or a bartender or whatever and like work all the time, and I can have time to work on music. So it just started and kind of snowballed.
You were making $1,500 a week at one point, right?
Yeah, which like looking back, like I kind of laugh at that because like it's really nothing. But like at the time for me, like as like I was kind of referencing like when I was like a 21, 22-year-old college kid, like at the time, like for me, like that was a lot of money. Especially when like my other alternative was like, working in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Like, so
making $300 a week instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there like a constant fear as you're selling that? I mean, you're making $1,500 profit a week on weed. That means you're moving in like semi bulk.
You're selling a lot, dude. You're selling a lot.
Semi bulk, is there a fear there? Like where you're always on the lookout. Who can you trust? Like we've never actually gotten a perspective of someone who's dealt on that perspective.
Not really, but it did kind of get to a point that was a little bit ridiculous. I had one guy I'd sold to for a couple of years, and I met him in the normal place that I met him, and he hopped into my car, and he pulled out a gun, and said, hey, I need that, essentially. I never, there was never like any danger of like really me being shot or injured or anything.
Right.
Yeah, but like at that point, that's when I realized, hey, maybe this isn't the smartest thing to be doing with my life.
And you just cut it off like that? You're able to just cut it off like that? Nobody...
Yeah, that was it. That was it for me.
Nobody like looks for you and goes, yo, like, are you not doing this anymore? Because most people only know from the movies, like you get that deep into it, now you're quitting. Nice cups, by the way. Those are from fucking Target, and they're like $1, and they're so nice, dude. I fucking love them.
Yeah, my fiance. But
we have all of those, bro. We have all the fucking colors in the cabinet. Anyways, so like you get to that point, we've seen it in movies, and like what all most people know is if you're quitting at that high of a fucking level, like someone's gonna come looking after you. I feel like
it's not that serious.
It's not.
It was never. I mean, like even the gun thing wasn't like I was never really in danger.
It was just like, here, take it, you can go.
Yeah, essentially. Like I'm not gonna risk my life over like what amounts to like $5,000. Like
you don't really seem like a super confrontational person to have that be an issue. You know what I'm saying?
I am not.
Like I feel like that becomes an issue when you pull out a gun and you're like, no, I need that. You know what I'm saying? Like then that's an issue.
It's like what, over nothing. I die here for fucking for $5,000.
I funded a bunch of the videos for that project. What I did was I had a guy who would front me this was right before I got kind of robbed or the weed stolen, but I had a guy who would front me. He would come to my apartment and drop off a significant amount of pounds, like 20 to 30 pounds.
Jesus.
And I would set I only dealt with people who sold in bulk. Like I wouldn't sell to people who were looking to I only sold to other dealers. And so I would sell them at cost, essentially. So I sold them for the same price I got them for at bulk. So they'd go in one day. And then since he fronted me, I had a bunch of money. I would drive to Colorado because I knew guys who had a grow house, and I would take all that money, buy a bunch in Colorado, drive back to St. Louis where I lived at the time, and then flip those for like 500 to 1,000 profit per pound.
That's smart. That's smart.
This guy's a fuking money machine.
Bro, that's so crazy because it sounds like you were doing that at a time where like weed was definitely not like all right to be like selling and shit. So it's crazy. Wait, what?
The guys in Colorado, I remember one of the times I drove out there, that day they were like rushing me out. They were like hurrying up because that day was like the vote to like whether they were going to make it legal in Colorado,
or not,
and they were all going to vote against it because it would cut into their profits.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a thing, dude. But I think it's crazy that you were moving like that much weight in a time where it was really not cool. Like that's, I don't know. And you seem pretty level-headed about it. So it sounds like you never really ran into any like problems or whatever. So good for you, but shit.
No problems, really. I mean, honestly, like in this country, like if you're a white dude and you get caught with weed, like you're probably okay.
Yeah.
So it's just
reality of it. Yeah.
That's such a funny quote, dude. That's so true, though. It's so true.
If you're anybody else, like you're probably fucked. But
yeah. Hey, fuck it, dude. So you moving that you wrote a song about it. Your parents ever find out that you did that? Are you close with them or nah?
Yeah, they knew.
And you at the time as well?
Yeah, I mean, my dad knew the whole time.
You tell him you're that close with him?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't know like the ins and outs of the details, but like I remember I drove over to my parents' house like that night after the guy took the 5K of weed off me and told my dad, and like I just told him, yo, I'm done, I'm getting out, and we like sat down and talked about it. So
that's cool. That's cool, dude, that you're fucking that close to your parents. I feel like a lot of people wish they could
I would never tell my parents any of that
Dude,
shit.
my parents would fucking kill me
What
if
the
I was
fuck?
moving weed.
Yeah, I mean, my mom didn't know until that night, but my dad knew the whole time. He
Yeah.
just didn't. Yeah.
And they supported the music shit too. Like,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, since day one. Yeah.
you went to school. Do you have a degree or no?
I do. I have a degree. I went to Mizzou,
Okay.
University
Oh,
of Missouri.
nice.
And what?
Yeah.
Degree in
So-
what?
Business marketing.
Nice.
The most useless.
Hey man, but you got a degree, brother. That's all that matters
Yeah.
these days, you know.
I did get a degree. Yeah.
No, on that point, that's all that matters. Did it matter at all? Did it help you? And did you use it?
0.
0.
But I enjoyed the shit out of college. I had
For
fun.
sure. Right.
But
You think college like helped you build that desire to music? Like what made you want to get into music at 21?
man, I always rapped. I rapped my whole life. Like I started
Yeah.
rapping. I got into rap when I was probably 11 or 12 years old, like listening to like Juvenile and Mystical and
Juvenile, no
yeah.
way.
Yeah, like that's what I was listening to, and I was, you know,
Bro.
like St. Louis was having like a little thing at the time with like Nelly and Saint Lunatics and Murphy Lee and Chingy
Yeah.
and
Nelly,
uh,
Chingy, damn.
Jibs
Damn,
and-
dude.
that's-
Jibs, holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, see, I don't
That's
know
where
who
I
any of
grew
these
up,
are,
and-
but Edwin does.
Bro, I bought a fucking Jibs CD and I still have it, bro. Like, oh my god, that's so funny because I used to buy those CDs off of the strength of one song, and then I'd listen to the entire album, and I'd be like, whoa, this whole thing kind of sucks except like 3 songs. But like, it's funny because now you get that on Spotify, but like you don't have to actually own it. But it's so fun. Jibs, that's crazy, man. The people you just mentioned, holy shit, blast from the past.
Yeah, that's how it was. And Jaquan, I actually did Jaquan. I did a song. I ran into when I was 21 years old. I first started rapping. I ran into Jaquan at Houlihan's in St. Louis, and I walked up to him. I'm like, "Hey, can I rap for you?" And I rapped for him. He's like, "Yo, let's do a song." And I ended up doing a song with Jaquan.
No way.
I don't know if you guys remember Jaquan. He had that big song, "Tipsy." Everybody in the club.
Yeah, of course.
Oh,
of
that's
course.
him?
Yeah. So,
Everybody
yeah.
in wait, no.
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that
no,
it?
that is, yeah,
That's it?
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Bro, listen, did you ever listen to that one song by Big Sean about how he went and rapped for Kanye? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Dude,
That
I
was-
love that song.
What
And
is
that's what
that?
that reminded me of.
Yeah.
Like what, how did he get to that point? Similar thing?
He literally, the song is a song story. It's not like a verse and like whatever. It's like a story of him telling you how he woke up. It was his day off. He just got paid. He went to the bank. His friend called him. He was like, "Yo, Ye's at the studio, or Ye's on the like down the block. Like, go rap for him." And he's like, "Man, that shit sounds stupid." He's like, "I'm just gonna go do my thing." And he's like, "You know what? Actually, fuck it. Let's do it." So he turned the car around from like depositing his check that he just got paid, and he went and he rapped to Kanye. And then Kanye gave him his email address, and then they actually started a correspondence, and that's how Big Sean got signed to Good Music, which is Kanye's label. So if he would have never done that, it would have never happened.
Yeah.
He tells the whole story. It's so sick. It's so cool.
Yeah. I love that song.
I think that's the cool thing about fucking music that we don't get on YouTube, on the YouTube side, content creation side of things, where like people can come up to you and just like, 30 seconds, they can show you their skill or not. Like, on YouTube, you have viewers will send you in Twitter DMs or whatnot, "Yo, can you go watch my montage or my YouTube video and let me know what you think?" It's like so much different. You have to put in so much time and out of your day to go respond. And on the street, like somebody like that, you got your hustle, you go up to him. I respect people that have that like killer mentality kind of, like it doesn't matter if I get rejected or not right now, like let me go ask. Like I had some dude who's about to start managing me, and he fucking messaged me 8 times, like really good messages. They weren't like, weird at all, but it was like, "Yo, let me manage you. I know we can fucking do things," and it was nonstop. And eventually, like, he was everywhere I was. Anywhere I was fucking doing a podcast, like a public podcast, he was there. Anywhere I was fucking streaming, he was there. Anywhere. And it was like, all right, this guy wants it, let's fucking work with him. So that's cool that you have a song with him. Is it out?
Yeah, man, I don't even know where to find it. It's probably 12 years old.
Really?
I don't know if it's out on the internet anywhere, but
You don't have copies of it?
I probably do. Yeah, I probably do on like an old hard drive somewhere.
Yeah.
But not on this computer. But I'm sure I've got it somewhere. Yeah.
Do you?
Actually, on an old iPod, I've got it.
Oh, my man.
fuck.
Yeah.
There's no getting it off that bitch now.
Lil Nano.
Yeah.
Bro, so like my question is, now that you said you've been into music for a decade, you know, you've kind of experienced the ins and outs of it, at least, you know, in your perspective. Do you think that you still have a passion for music, or do you think that you're kind of like over it? Like, and I'm not saying about like industry, I'm talking about in general. Like, when you think of music, do you feel passionate about it, or are you just kind of like,
Not really.
whatever?
No, not really. And it's
Fair.
it's kind of been that way. Honestly, it's kind of been that way for years for me, since like kind of like 2016 maybe.
Really?
But I just kind of had this like little thing during quarantine where I'm like, I need to get this out, and so I made an album in like 6 or 8 months. But yeah, it's kind of like that.
What was it for you? Like, what was like the moment where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore? Because like bro, like, I'm trying to think of like, because I've definitely had those things in my life too, where like you're kind of known for something and then you're just like, I don't want to do it anymore. Like like this is it. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. Like what was it for you?
I don't think there was like one straw. It was just like it was just like things building on top of each other.
He made a fuck ton in a poker match. He was like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean that was one thing. It was, the other thing was like being in the studio with people who are like so much better. The other thing was like, you know, shooting videos where I spent a bunch of money where like something fell through and like the videos didn't work. It was just like one thing on top of another, and like eventually like I woke up and I'm like, man, like I don't want to fucking make music today. And then like every day was like, you know, I just wake up and write every day. That was my schedule for the longest time. And like when it got to the point where it was like, man, this sounds horrible. This sounds awful.
I was telling Arab, because we have a vlog. We like post a vlog like once a week, and he was like asking if we should do 2 vlogs, and I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. He's like, why? He's like, we can get footage for it. I'm like, no. I'm like, because that turns into, hey, let's go film and have fun, to we have to go film and we have to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And that is a very dangerous game you play, and it's not worth it in the long run. And I think that you're like, I could only imagine waking up in the morning having to write and having nothing to write and just getting frustrated over it, and then just being like, well, fuck, I guess this came to mind. You're right. You know, and then you're not satisfied with it. You're like, that was shit. I did that to do it. That was it. There was no like passion or love behind it, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. And it just kind of got to that point. And I mean, yeah, I'm always going to be writing. I'm always going to be creating. I'm always going to be like doing something creative in some fashion. And it may be music, but like, I feel like it's kind of run its course, like on
as a career, like on a career
Marc
level.
Goone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your real name Mark?
Mm-hmm. That's my real name. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Goone as well as your last name?
Yeah.
Oh shit! So he's like, I'm just quitting being me.
I thought that was an alias, bro. Is it spelled the same too?
No, I kind of wish it was an alias now, because like I like to kind of be anonymous, and yeah. So I wish I would have just been like Wiggly Pants Vixen or something like.
Wiggly Pants Vixen.
Yeah.
Mark
Goone. What's that writing process like as an artist? Because when we are coming up with ideas or whatnot, either we're driving and we come up with really good ideas, or we're watching other forms of content on around like stuff that we like. Like we at night when we go and chill, Edwin will pull up Dave Chappelle skits that he really likes that have inspired him or whatnot, and we'll, you know, it might give us an idea or two to do here for a little bit or whatnot. How's the writing process for music?
Jump on a mic and make a bunch of noises until I have a cool melody.
So when you're writing all day, that's what you do? You just sit on a mic all day? You're not listening to like other music, you're not listening to other beats that you could potentially transform?
Well, yeah, I'm always playing music. I'm playing beats. I'm playing instrumentals. Like, but yeah, I'm just you know, melody, and then like, you know, I'll have concepts kind of stacked up like that just kind of pop into my head like throughout the week or month or whatever, that I have like written down on my phone. And like, if the melody, if like, you know, I write like gibberish melodies where it's just like me making noises until the words kind of
fit in the melody. Yeah. I feel that, bro. I feel that, dude. Like on some real private shit. Like I like nobody really knows this about me. I'm really like musically inclined. Like I was always into instruments. Like I played guitar for like years. I can play piano. I've never tried writing music. I just never tried. But like what I'll do is like if I'm in my car by myself, I'll put on an instrumental and I'll just like kind of like do what you do, like hum the melody. And then like when you hum the melody and you kind of figure out the timing of each like hum, you can put words in it that fit the hum perfectly, if that makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. And dude, I have a lot of respect for the shit you've done, man, especially because you know, we both agree that the hardest part of writing music is the hook, but I think what you do is actually the more, it's like it's perceived as harder because you just need it to appease the most people, but I actually think what you do is the hardest part. Like the clever wording,
I think
like
so
the just the way you word things, like the things you say, like the actual words behind it. Unfortunately, in today's day and age, no one gives a fuck about the words, bro. And that's why people like Cardi B, who is a master at creating a hook, is as successful as she is. Dude, she can create a hook out of fucking thin air and it just goes mega platinum. But the rest of the song is garbage, you know, and like, but that doesn't matter. The hook's what matters, you know?
Yeah, she's also a massive personality too. She's fun to watch, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So you created a song called American Product, and I'm pretty sure it talks about you going on a show, right? Sort of like American Idol or something.
Yeah.
Did you actually go on American Idol?
No.
It was just like out of thin air. You just created that song, and it was.
Yeah, it was just like my family would always be like, I'd come downstairs and my family would always be watching like American Idol or The Voice or whatever, and I'd be like, this is bullshit. Like, this is bullshit.
So because, it's like this is what it would take.
Yeah, because like I've always tried to explain to people like being a technically proficient rapper or having a great voice, like these things are. This is like sharpening a sword. That's all it is. It's just like a technical proficiency.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a good artist because you can sing well or rap well. Like in these shows, that's what they reward. Is they reward technical proficiency. They don't reward someone for being a creative artist.
Right.
Yeah. Like, can you hit the note? Can you sing it right?
Yeah. Can you sound good when you do it? Like, that's it. Which like anybody with enough training can sound good when they do it. So not everybody can like write something that moves people to feel a certain way.
Did they listen to that song and they're like, did it change their opinion or anything? Like that you?
Not really.
No.
They just.
Because that was a fucking good song.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm the next American Product.
Well,
it's funny because my one of my friends who was on The Voice, she was over yesterday, and I remember I played that song. She was like the runner-up on The Voice, and I remember I played that song for her, and she was like, "Yeah, it was a bullshit process. That's like pretty much how it is."
There's a line in there, and I fucking love it, and it goes, "From magazines and CDs to radios and TVs, all something." You say something else after. What is it? Do you know what it is?
Man, I don't.
Fuck, dude.
I don't know, man.
Lines like that, bro. Lines like that, like I listen and I'm like, yeah, this is lyricism. Cause I'm into. You ever heard of Whit Lowry?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured you would, because that's like I feel like it's a similar style of your old music.
Old music, yeah.
Yeah, he's Edwin roasts me for liking him.
I personally am not a fan of that type of rap. I was always more like an instrumental, like you know, I was listening to guitar. You know, I actually think that producers, the people that produce the beats, are actually the unsung heroes of a lot of music, and no one gives them enough credit. So I really listen to the beats. I listen to the hooks, and like I get that, like the technical like analogy, like lyricism. Like we both agree that anyone can do that with enough work. It's word association. It like once you realize that this word goes with this word very easily, you can also string it along with this word and this word that also go together, and this word and this word. So like with that, I was actually going to ask you your thoughts on somebody like what I would think is probably the most mainstream successful version of the type of music that you used to like with Lowry, which is Lil Dicky, because I think he doesn't have very. I don't think he has very good hooks, but I think he has very, very good lyricism when it comes to like those analogies and those things. But I think he makes them funny, and that's why he caught on. I think if they weren't funny, he would just be another, you know, Whit Lowry, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I actually I enjoyed the shit out of his TV show. I thought it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, I need to
Dave,
watch
that.
that.
Was a great show.
I need to
Oh my
watch
god, it
that.
was so good. It was so
It's
good.
really, really good.
I think Lil Dicky's a comedic genius. Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite rappers have always been since for the last 12 years. My favorite rapper has been Young Thug.
Whoa,
Thug,
what?
Yeah, Thug.
That's sick.
Future. Right now, my favorite rappers are probably Thug, Future, A Boogie, Roddy Ricch, Aaron Cartier.
Bro, how does your music not sound like them at all? Then you get what I'm saying?
Listen to Crooked.
Okay.
Yeah, I listened to that this morning right beforehand.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say because those people are not they're not on the same lyrical level of what Arab showed me of your work.
I showed him Young Walter White and fucking American Product.
Their type of music is very
abstract.
abstract at minimum.
Yeah, but the way I kind of look at it is there are people who are realism, who are going to paint photorealistic paintings, and there are people who are going to just splatter stuff. But it doesn't mean one is better than the other. It's just two different.
It's perceptive.
Exactly.
It's art is subjective, and music is art, which is why if me and Arab ever get into a conversation of whose music is better, objectively, it's not even a conversation that you can even have because there is no objectivism in music. Music is art, and art is subjective at the end of the day.
For sure.
Yeah, I have this thing, and it's I really don't like to knock people who are trying to work on their craft. People who have just started in content or whatever, and when people come in and they say, "Oh, that's cringe," that's a word that, because content, a lot of the time is geared towards kids, obviously people under 24 or whatnot. So when people come in and say cringe, I'm always okay, you might not like this, but I understand how you got to understand how someone does like it,
Yeah.
because there are different forms of art, and even though I might not like someone's content, we got to agree there's a reason he's pulling this many viewers, and it's because fucking hundreds of thousands of people are willing to watch.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
For sure.
So yeah, there are different forms of art, like you said, and there's the art splattering everywhere, whatever. So you moved to LA. You haven't talked about your album yet here on this podcast yet. So you created an album after you decided you're gonna quit music. You had the one last album. You're engaged now. Also, congrats on that.
Thank you.
How has LA treated you outside of the fact that you don't want to do music anymore? Poker's going well. Are you a fan of? I hate LA. Let me start with that.
I hate LA too.
Florida. I just moved to Florida with him, so he's lived in
Okay.
Florida. I graduated 5 months ago, and I just moved here so we could focus on pushing our shit. I hate LA because it's fake. I found a lot of fake people, and you don't come across as the type of guy who is fake or likes to deal with fake people. So
I'm a fucking hermit.
okay, so that's how you deal with it.
Well, but I will say I've made real friends in LA.
Of course, for sure.
And a lot of people the same thing with music. A lot of people don't make new friends after they turn 25 or whatever. And
Yeah.
I've made some of my closest friends after I moved to LA. So
Yeah, I get that.
it has its ups and downs,
I don't like LA because I feel like everyone is wanting to be something else. No one's happy being what they are. They're all oh, I'm just doing this until I get my next role or until my next song blows up. When I went to LA, that's just how it seemed. No one was happy doing what they were doing. If they were a waiter, they were oh, I'm a waiter, but here's my SoundCloud. Here's my YouTube channel. It's just you don't have to just live your shit or whatever. But I feel like people are out there in LA embarrassed not being crazy successful whatever. They're
maybe,
yeah.
but the flip side of that is where I'm from, St. Louis. People always looked at me oh, you still doing your little music thing? How's that going? When are you gonna get a real job? And
Oh my
grow up?
god, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in LA, there's none of that shit.
Yeah, true shit. Yeah. I guess you're right. I guess that is interesting. It's funny how many people come into our streams and ask us when we're gonna get real jobs.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like Timothy, you sell fucking vending machines. How is that
right?
how is that more of a real job than what we're doing? Like, come on, like, what is a real job? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
I love that you said Timothy, bro, because in our communities, the word that they use for fucking like the random dude that comes in and is a piece of shit is Timmy. So
Timmy,
it's like
yeah.
you just, it's like maybe that's just a universally fuck you name, you know?
Bro, you should just make angry music. You should just make like angry like fuck you meme rap. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I feel like those word associations just like I don't know. Like
yeah, I don't know what I'm definitely gonna do some like left field shit.
Yeah.
But like under a different name, like
yeah.
So you
Weird Al
plan
Yankovic.
you plan on continuing like just fun projects? So not like a job, but sort of like, you know, maybe I'm bored today. Let me go record something. Even though
yeah, for sure. I'm working on a children's book.
Oh,
Really?
that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't want to give too much away. But like this, it's going to be like a top 5 selling children's book. It's going to be an Amazon bestseller. Like I promise.
Is it going to be under your name?
Yeah.
Marc Goone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
That's
excited.
So cool.
I'm going to keep an eye out on that.
Yeah.
You know who the best rapper of our childhood was, bro? Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss. Yeah. I mean,
damn, dropping bars. Red fish, blue fish.
I don't even like I don't like children per se. Like
I'm glad.
Hey man.
I mean like I don't like I'm not
it's
good
okay
with
if you
kids.
do,
Like,
man. Don't worry.
Man, that LA lifestyle would be weird, huh? Yeah, that's the clip we're using for this video for sure.
Perfect. That'll help me sell the book.
Yeah, wait, continue. You were gonna say something before we cracked a joke about that you don't like children.
No, I've had this like idea for like 8 years and like I've never actually done it because I've been too busy with other shit. So like I'm gonna do it.
What inspired it? Is like inspiration from Dr. Seuss or not? Because I mean, like you said, Dr. Seuss was the best rapper of our time. I mean, he was good, bro. He was good at what he did.
Yeah, I don't really know. I was working like a shitty part-time job at the time, and like a bunch of like ideas popped in my head like every day when I was working because like my mind was kind of off.
Motherfucker's gonna be, you're gonna be reading a kindergarten book and it says ubiquitous, whatever the fucking word is, right? None of them are gonna understand it.
Yeah, it's inspired by the "Go the Fuck to Sleep" book. It's kind of a
what's that?
It's like that was like the #1 selling children's book for a while. I think like Samuel L. Jackson.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, go the fuck to sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? A children's book?
Yeah. It was the #1 selling children's book.
He named it "Go the fuck to sleep."
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely adults were reading that. Not
exactly.
children.
It was like
This book is like for adults because they think it's funny, but it is a children's book. Yeah. So
it's like one of those things. It's like SpongeBob, where you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Where Edwin will pull up these SpongeBob scenes from like whatever years ago, and I'll be like, dude, look at this one, and it's like some adult sex joke, but you would have never understand it as a kid.
Exactly, you ever thought about the fact that they live in Bikini Bottom? Anyone ever talk about that?
Yeah, true.
That's cool though. That's really fucking cool. That kind of led into my next question, which was like now that you're done with music, like what do you see yourself doing? Are you still playing poker professionally? Like is that still what you do or?
Yeah, I'm playing poker. That's pretty. I'm trying to cut down to like I'd love to. Actually, I'm there, but like I'd love to get down to like 20-25 hours a week and just do it like part time and then spend my other time like working on other shit. So, poker, I feel like I kind of need a new challenge. Like as far as like reaching, as far as like reaching the mountaintop, I'm kind of like there's not really anywhere up to go.
You're that high up in the poker. Oh shit! I love that. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just.
Is there a stress there?
Yeah, but like way less, way less than there was, 3-4 years ago. Like, just because I'm numb to it, kind of.
You go into poker and you have, you're gambling high stakes or whatnot. I'm assuming millions. You're or maybe even hundreds of thousands, whatever it is. you okay with losing that day, or do you never end up losing that all that day?
I mean, I'm never playing for an amount that's going to affect my day-to-day life. Even
Okay.
if that amount is a ridiculous number, it's not going
Right.
to affect how, you know,
So
my
it's not
life for the next
that
month.
so it's not that like you can go today you've lost, you know, this large amount. It's not going to affect you, but you do that 2-3 days in a row, now you're fucked. It's
No,
never like that amount. No, there's a way to.
Never. And
Yeah.
there are huge swings, but like I play it, you know, you gradually move up stakes. So like the swings at those stakes they won't affect your day-to-day life.
Right.
No matter how,
Do you play conservatively? Like do you fold like quickly or no?
I fold a lot, but I also my image is, oh, this guy's tight. He doesn't play many hands. Usually when he does show a hand, he has it. So I kind of get away with a lot.
You can abuse that.
Yeah.
I do get away with a lot. Sometimes it backfires. But
And everyone knows about each other in those scenes. Like everyone's like, this guy does this guy does this. You play with sunglasses and shit.
No, anybody
You
who plays
don't?
with sunglasses is going to be what we call a fish.
Really?
Or like a recreational player who's pretty much anybody. Yeah, because like what a lot of people don't understand who don't play poker is even people who do play poker, what they don't understand is like tells like what you're doing with your face, what you're doing with your hands. Like that shit doesn't matter.
Really?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It means
I agree.
nothing. It's all based upon betting patterns. Everything's based upon patterns. And people generally, where they make mistakes, is they have repeatable patterns when they do certain things and bet certain sizes on certain boards. They always have hand X.
So you're playing the person, not the. Okay, so it's easier. Like once you up into these lobbies, you're now swinging higher or whatever against higher stakes people. You have to relearn those patterns. So do you start off slow?
Yeah, I mean, so there's like a baseline of strategy, right? It's like it's called the game theory optimal, and you kind of learn that. Like I have like a program called Pile Solver where you input hands and it tells you how to play the hand in like a game theory optimal correct manner.
Like percentage wise, right?
Yeah, it'll say like, you know, with this combination of hand, when you have the ace of clubs and the king of diamonds, bet this size, this percentage of the time, bet this size. So like it tells you what to do
like
in certain
chess.
situations.
Yeah. Like
chess. Poker's just chess with money.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And have you ever thought of making, you know, I mean, I don't know, I don't want to say you're an entertainer at heart, but you've made music for so long to audiences, etc. You did say you like to stay anonymous, but have you ever thought of making videos similar to like Doug Polk, where you're making these educational poker videos? Because you have the personality for it. Like I'm sure people would love to watch, or streaming yourself playing poker. Like I don't watch poker at all, right? But on Twitch, I follow a channel called fucking Poker Star 24/7 or something like that. And it's just it's nonstop poker games 24/7. And if I'm ever really, really fucking bored, that's the go-to. You know, I'll just pull up poker and watch. People are always down to watch poker without audio or whatever, just because it's like so much money on the line. So is that?
I've kind of dabbled. I've put out a couple videos on YouTube just discussing like, you know, like big hands I've played, or you know, like why poker's not a good job for the average person to have. Or like, I've put out a couple YouTube videos just kind of like about poker kind of and like what it's been like. So I'm kind of dabbling a little, you know, seeing what people like, what sticks. So
fuck yeah. Does your
no, real quick, what's the biggest hand you've won?
Like biggest pot?
Yeah.
So in like one single hand?
Yeah.
47 million.
No, man, come on. I'm not rich. Probably like 35 or 40 grand.
What's the biggest pot you've lost?
Less than that.
Wow.
Probably like 23, 24.
Nice.
But in that pot, it ends up being like what, 7 of yours, right?
Yeah, like 12, like 11 or 12. Yeah.
All right, do those big pots tend to be one-on-one? Like everyone's out and it's just you head to head with the person?
Yeah, for sure.
Dude, I might want to ask this question just because I got fucking railed on my taxes just now that I literally finished right before this podcast. But how the fuck did taxes work on that?
My accountant is he's based in Vegas, and he specializes in like professional gamblers and poker players. So
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
Mark has no fucking idea.
So the answer is he knows. That's why you pay him the big bucks. Gotcha.
yeah,
Smart.
yeah.
How'd you get into that?
My friends used to play like in high school, and I always thought it was interesting, and I was never good at it. But you know, the summer before I moved out to LA, I was working passing out like energy drinks out of the back of a truck.
Oh my god, you were fucking network marketing.
Yeah.
You were Vima?
Like,
was it Vima?
No, Monster Energy.
Okay.
Yeah. Making $14 an hour or something. And so like, you know, like in my free time, like I found this like website called like Crush Live Poker. And this guy Bart Hansen, who's become a close friend of mine, he put out videos on like how to beat live poker games for like a lot of money. And like I would just like absorb these videos like while I was working, while I was eating, like whenever, like I would watch like 4 hours a day. And so I started going to the casino like 3 nights a week, and I was winning a decent amount of money, and that's how I like saved up enough money to like move out to LA.
And you don't plan to move back, right? You're content with where you are? The poker games are popping.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, like, I mean, I don't necessarily plan on moving back to St. Louis, but I don't know if I'm going to stay in LA forever.
San Diego's pretty beautiful.
San Diego is beautiful.
Yeah.
I love San Diego.
You'll move back to St. Louis. Wait, how's your little poker thing going?
Yeah, exactly.
You quit the music thing. When are you going to quit the poker thing? Come on.
I hate people like that, bro. I hate them. People that ask questions like that, bro, because they know what they're doing. They're intentionally belittling you, you know? And I feel like that's a projection of their own.
It always is.
Their own dreams, their own aspirations not being fulfilled. So they feel like they had somebody in their lives that did that to them. So now they feel obliged to do it to somebody else, you know?
100%, man. And I used to feel that way whenever I go back to like St. Louis for like weddings or whatever. And I just like, I joke with my fiance all the time. I'm like, yo, you're just going to come home one day and there's going to be a Bentley Bentayga in the driveway, and send a picture to all your friends and be like, yo, I think Mark's little poker thing is working out. So
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
yeah.
I love that, bro. There's a lot of people like that. Cause like, I remember my cousin, like this is a close cousin of mine. He came to fucking the US like 3 years ago. And he's, you know, we're talking about this gaming streaming thing, and he's like, come on, dude, like for 7 days. He was here for like 7 days, like 5 to 7 days or something. And all day, every day, all I heard was, when are you going to fucking quit? Like, just quit already. It's not going to, you know, this doesn't make sense, bro. Come on. Gaming? Like, and then now, like, he's a big fan, you know? So it's like,
exactly. It's funny.
but I mean, it's my family, you know, like it's not like there's any maliciousness, but it's like, it's just one of those things where I broke out of the family business, you know, I'm not in that. I'm doing my own thing, and it's like going well, and people want to support you when you're up, and they don't want to, you know, like I remember the people that were there watching me every fucking video when I had 5 views a video, you know, and then now they're still with me. Like, those are the people.
Yeah, I think people kind of get like, they get brainwashed into this mindset that like, I have to do this. And I think like, hopefully, like, I think what the last year has taught some people who've been in that like traditional mindset, like I need a job, I need security, is like, there's no such fucking thing as like, just because you have a 9-to-5 job, like that doesn't mean you can get
fired tomorrow. Yeah.
And like,
it's a perceived safety that people, and you know, I feel like part of it comes from an unknown amount of laziness, because when you have a 9-to-5, everything's done for you, right? You get a W-2, you don't have to really do your taxes as much. You just turn that shit in and then it gets done. You know, they have retirement set up for you, like a 401k, this and that. Like, you just have to fucking show up, dude. You don't have to work. Like, dude, like, you know, like, let's say, like, personally, I stream from, like, you know, let's say between 30 and 40 hours a week, possibly, right? That on top of the podcast, on top of the YouTube videos like that we don't even make money off of yet or ever will. You know, it's like it's a lot more work being self-employed, and I think people may know that and they're not willing to do it, and they kind of hide behind the, oh, this is actually more secured, when it's not, you know?
And I think another factor of that, to build on top of what you said, is like they see what you're doing and they think, well, you know what, there's a part of them that thinks, oh shit, like maybe I could be doing this. But also like if it doesn't work out for him, that justifies my decision.
Exactly.
I made the right decision.
Exactly. And the other thing too is like in a very literal sense. And obviously anyone listening that has a 9 to 5, like we're not coming at you. We're just saying like anyone that's ever been negative towards what we do, like this is like my reason as to why I think they're negative. And the other thing is I think that they also, like, in the defense of the people that aren't negative, that just need a 9 to 5, there's some people that need to get paid now. You know, there's some people that need to make money just to, like, make ends meet. And I completely understand and respect those people. But to those people, I have to say, what you do from 9 to 5 should put, you know, food on the table. What you do from 6 to 12 can change your life, you know, or not. Like, you just fucking sit in front of Netflix all night, you know, but that's up to you.
When's the last time you watched, not with your girlfriend, like a show, not with your fiance?
Watch the show
on your own free time.
On my own free time, man. Without her.
Because girls make you do it's, you know, you cuddle and you're gonna end up fucking banging after or whatever. If you know, if it's your, it's like you cuddle, you guys get cute, and then you whatever. So it's like girls, you're gonna end up watching Netflix with them or whatever. But on your own free time, where you get home from fucking poker and you're like, let me sit down and watch a show.
It was probably last April.
Same, but that was with my girl. That was with my ex.
Yeah, that was the last time like I sat down and like watched a show, and I was just like.
And the average person, you know how much TV they consume a day? I don't know a fucking actual statistic, but you know how many times I hear from people, yo, I just finished this series. Like, that's what they do all day. You know, they get home, there's nothing that they're working towards, like.
Yeah, nah, dude, that's so bad, bro. That's so bad. Listen, look, and I have nothing against watching TV shows because I watch them like sometimes on my own, but here's what I do. I limit myself to, okay, I'm working all day. I have, 20, 30 minutes to finish my lunch. I'll watch a show for that amount of time. And then when I'm done with my lunch, and sometimes I don't even finish the show. Sometimes I finish my lunch so fast that I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sit here and watch 45 minutes of the rest of this. So I just like stop watching it. So I just limit it to when I'm eating. But dude, people waste so much fucking time watching shows and doing things that are not. I'm not saying all of your life needs to be productive, but fuck, dude, some of it needs to be, you know?
Yeah, I kind of wonder sometimes because like I feel if I'm not constantly working, I feel like a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
There's just like in my head.
But that's because we're self-employed, and it's good to feel like that because the reality is it's kind of like that. You know, if you don't keep going, like. The thing is, especially with streaming, is you take enough days off, bro, you lose most of your community. You take enough days off, like people will find somebody else that'll fill that time slot for you. So it's like, yeah, you have to be really active. Like that's the only thing about like working a 9 to 5 where like, yeah, you don't really have to think about it once you clock out, but you just have to clock in for the rest of your life. Thankfully for us, like what we do is pretty passion driven, So it shouldn't. So like to me, like when I edit, when I work, when I do this, like when I work, it doesn't feel like working. It feels like I'm doing this like recreationally, but it's not.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You said like you feel like a piece of shit when you don't work. Edwin slowly persuaded me into the idea that I got to get over the fact that when we're out and we're doing fun shit and we're recording it, that counts as work.
It's work.
We get to vlog it. Like that's why we're converting into that. So that way, it's not always like, yo, fuck, I'm not streaming right now. I streamed 10 hours today, but I still have 8 hours left in my day. I'm going to feel like a piece of shit if I'm not doing something. So when we're doing stuff, as long as we're filming it and there's some sort of content idea behind it, then we can justify it.
Bro, and I remember, so I've been on YouTube since like 2013 or something, 2012. Like me and my friends I was a part of another YouTube collective called Jug Squad. And I remember like back then, like one of my best friends at the time, we had our own business and like this and that. Like I was real active in that. And it was like a 9 to 5, but it was like a self-imposed 9 to 5, And I remember when we'd go on like surf trips and we'd go like do fun shit, I would feel guilty the entire time, bro. I wouldn't have fun at all. because I felt like I should be working, I should be doing shit. Because the thing about YouTube and content creation, the things we do, is that the payout is never defined. You work a 9 to 5, you know how much money you're gonna make. You fucking make a YouTube video, it fucking flops, you make no money, you just spent all that time that you wasted, this and that. But in reality, you have to, you have to do that, bro. You have to go through the failures up front. It's a very front-loaded business, what we do, like being creatives. It's a lot of work on the front end to hopefully make money on the back end. Whereas people that work regular jobs, they just know I clock in, I sit here, I do my thing, I get paid X amount of dollars, but it's not like that for us. But you have to get over the feeling bad about doing things that may or may not pay out, because one of them will pay out, and it'll pay out big, Yeah,
it's just really, really, really hard to do to try over and over and over again, and just nope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%. And I think that's when you have to reinvent yourself. That's another thing that people don't understand as creators too, where it's like you don't have to be the same thing forever. Like you can reinvent yourself.
Well, you can't be the same thing forever.
You can't. Exactly.
You'll
good,
fall
very
off.
good point.
People get bored of it.
Yeah. You have to do something new, bro.
They want to see you adapt and grow. Yeah.
Yeah. Like personally, when I was streaming, I'd stream the same thing every single fucking day when I first started streaming. I thought that was it. I thought it was consistency. People wanted it, this and that. Then you hit a growth plateau, and then what comes after a growth plateau is a real steep decline. And you have to keep reinventing yourself, because what people like is you, not necessarily what you do every time. You know what I'm saying? But they're willing to give it a shot because they like you,
Yeah, 100%. This is good shit. Like I feel like people that little monologue you just gave, like I feel like that could teach a lot of people a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point, man. We want people to listen to this shit and feel like they got some sort of semblance of a moral or a life lesson that they didn't get, because a lot of these things we talk about are the semblance of it's a collection of these conversations we've had with influential people, intelligent people, this and that. And so our audience, the people listening, they don't have to talk to all those people that we talk to. They can just listen to us, and we give them the same moral,
I
love it.
Fuck, I was about to say something really, really good. It was juicy. What's next for Marc? You're writing the book. You can't tell us what it's gonna be. You can't give us too many details. You're writing the book. When's that coming out? What's the plan for Marc? Are you still going to keep using your Marc Goone platforms that you're verified on as a way to promote those things that people can keep up with you? How can the Marc Goone fans, or the new ones that are going to listen to your music after this podcast, how can they keep up with you? I'm sure after watching this for an hour, a lot of them have grown a liking to you, whether it be outside your music, if they want to keep up with you in poker or whatever it is. What do they do?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of keep using the platforms I have for the poker. I'm gonna try talking about more poker stuff. Like some people find it interesting, some don't, some will move on, but whatever. Like I feel like I've got a lot to talk about, like what's gone on with my life like the last 4 or 5 years in poker. So I'd like to talk about that more. I'm gonna push this album just a little bit more, put out a couple more videos. And yeah, I don't really know. It's kind of like the first time in a long time. I don't really know what's next. It's kind of scary, kind of exciting.
Yeah, that is a feeling. That is a feeling for sure. I've had that feeling before. We've all had it. Anyone in that works for themselves has that feeling, and that is like you said, you can't really describe it until you're in it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Lean into the excitement. Lean into that.
Because I've kind of got one foot out the door of making music and one foot out the door of poker, and so it's like that's been my life like the last 10 years. So I don't really know. I don't know.
I like the fact that you're chasing things that make you happy.
Yeah.
You tried the music thing. It wasn't making you happy, so you quit. There's a lot of people that end up in that loop of, I'm going to keep doing this, whatever, and it just tears them down, like an abusive relationship kind of thing. And then it just wears them down over time. People see them change. Me, like both Edwin and I, whenever there's something that makes us unhappy, whether it be in like the content or whatever, we just step back from it and we figure out what is next, what's gonna fix it, etc. Like right now, I'm in a point where I'm doing that too, where I'm trying to back away from Fortnite because that's what I stream. Like back away from that and figure out what's next for me as an entertainer, focusing on the vlogs, the podcast, etc. So yeah, it's
Well, your guys' podcast is awesome. I'm gonna watch.
Thank you.
I'm gonna watch a bunch more. Like I'm super entertained. I watched like a whole hour the other night while I was playing poker. So
yeah, he watched the Ben one. We'll put it up right there. You guys can click that if you guys want to watch that. That was one of my favorite. That motherfucker
I like
is smart.
that one too. Bro, I like the podcast. Like we started as a Fortnite community podcast because we have like a lot of ins in the Fortnite community because that's like kind of where we both came from, and he's like really big in it specifically. But I really enjoy the podcast where we can have somebody that isn't in the Fortnite community, because I think that the kids in the Fortnite community, they need a perspective outside of that world like pretty badly. Like some of them do,
because they've grown up in it.
Yeah, they're like in this little echo chamber of like, I have to be a Fortnite pro, I have to succeed in streaming, or this is it. When in reality, bro, like it's okay to quit shit. It's okay to start over. It's okay to do, you know what I'm saying? Like it's so okay to do that. And people are so critical of themselves, and it's just because that's how they feel like everyone else is towards them, but it's not. Yeah,
no one gives a shit.
No one gives a fuck. No one gives a shit, dude.
That's what people don't realize.
Your
like,
mom,
no,
your mom gives the most fucks about you, and that's it.
That's it. Like, no one cares.
Like your dad cares too, but he also like do whatever.
He also doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he doesn't give a fuck. Yeah. He wants to see you do well. That's it. Your mom is like, you know, like she's the only. Yeah, nobody cares. My mom tells me that all the time too. She says, "Be careful."
Yeah.
I'm like, Mom, I trust Edwin. Don't worry. She's like, long hair.
You shouldn't. She's like, you shouldn't.
Yeah, and we have a lot of, you know, from varying ages, but a lot of these kids have spent 3 to 4 years in the same echo chamber, you know, since the game came out.
So bad.
And they don't,
so
and all
bad,
they know is what their favorite pros are tweeting of like, you know, weird shit.
And
they don't get these
very
perspectives.
intelligent.
Dude, even I'm much older than them. I'm fucking 24, and I learn a lot. Like you said, your favorite podcast is these kind of podcasts where we get guests that are in a different realm, and you get to learn a different side of things. Even I learn a lot from these dudes.
Dude, if I can give everyone like a piece of advice, because people ask me like all the time on stream and shit, like what's the most important like characteristic to have as not only a streamer but like as a person, and it's being able to have a conversation with anyone about anything, but intelligently. Like being a well-rounded individual is probably one of the most important things to be, in my opinion.
That's good shit.
Mark,
That's good shit.
So you got your fucking new album, Croquet, inspired by the word croquet.
Croquet.
Oh. Okay.
Croquet. Everybody says croquet is because I spelled it.
Yeah,
like
you fucked that one. Don't blame us, bro. Don't blame us, Marc Goone.
Croquet.
All right, so Marc Goone's new album is out. It's called Croquet. Make sure to check that out. Keep an eye out for the fucking book. I'm a fucking buy that book. I'm gonna be reading that shit because I'm excited for. I've never heard of was it Denzel Washington? You said
it was
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah.
They both play the same roles in fucking movies, don't they?
Yeah.
Didn't he voice over it or some shit? Wasn't that?
Yeah, he just did the voiceover. He didn't write it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Me and Arab will have a kid just to read him your book.
I mean, that it would be perfect.
We're not. He's got a girlfriend.
No, we are.
Yeah, we are sometimes.
I mean, you could have a girlfriend also and still have a kid.
True. We don't live in Utah. We're not Mormons. Anyways.
So make sure you guys check out his fucking album. Watch out for the book on his Twitter. All his descriptions in the bottom. Mark, we have a question we ask everyone at the end of every podcast.
Mm-hmm.
One day, I need you to brace yourself. First of all.
Yes.
Technology is booming right now. You know, everything's getting better. Surgeries are getting crazy. Like, you can have a fucking injury and come out healthier than you were beforehand. One day surgeries are going to get so good, you know, surgeries and you're not going to be able to they're going to be so good that you can't tell the difference. Right. So like, let's say somebody was born a male, is, you know, undergoing surgery, whatever. They've gone through all the drugs, the regrowth hormone therapy, and now they're a female, and you can't tell the difference. So like everything about him is the same. Okay. Everything. So imagine you're born a dude, you're trying to become a girl. Everything about you now looks fucking completely feminine. So I need you to tell me like, who's the hottest girl you know? Like, not like your celebrity crush, not your fiance, because your fiance is going to be listening to this probably. Not you, you're not a celebrity. Who's like your celebrity crush before you started dating her?
Zendaya.
Zendaya?
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Okay, Zendaya. And what about like a dude? Like who's like the best looking dude?
Scottie Pippen.
Who?
Scottie Pippen?
I don't know.
Oh my god, that's fire. Whoa.
Yeah,
Scottie
Scottie
Pippen.
Mhm.
Okay, he's from the OG Bulls, dude. Wow. I would have never guessed.
Okay, so now imagine.
So you're asking me to name my celebrity crush as a dude.
Yeah.
correct.
Don't worry, it's not. That's not that deep. This is where it gets deep.
I
So
know
one
where it's
day,
going.
yeah, one day surgery is so good, right? So, did you watch the end of the Ben podcast?
Well,
Or no, you didn't make it to it.
I just continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Zendaya, everything about her is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Voice, boobs, ass, whatever, body. But the only difference is that she's got a penis.
Mm-hmm.
And Scottie Pippen, everything about him is the same. Voice, body, whatever, everything. But he's got a vagina. You got to go down on one.
Zendaya.
Nice, dude. He said that shit so confidently,
no hesitation, my man.
Let's go,
No
bro.
hesitation.
Dude, that had to be the fastest anyone has ever fucking answered that.
There's no that. I mean, like Zendaya. Like it's
Right?
Bro,
It's an obvious answer, bro. Like, why would I go down on fucking Scottie Pippen's, like, what, to prove which one's less gay? Like, what do you mean?
dude, and listen, and let's be honest. The whole time you're going down on Scotty, he's still complaining about that fucking contract, bro. He's still pissed about it, you know? So it's like, it wouldn't even be enjoyable.
Yeah, I made it easier on myself by picking Scottie Pippen as well.
Yeah. Dude, I love that you fucking answered that shit so fast. Everyone that's watching. Yeah, go ahead.
I knew already.
Yeah. Yeah, our fucking community loves when we ask. They get pissed at us when sometimes we don't ask people because it's like we ask almost everyone, but there's like specific people you're like, dude, I just can't. You know, like
we had like a pastor on one time, bro.
You could
Yeah,
definitely ask a pastor.
dude, that guy was crazy. No, he was like a crazy. Like he's been banned on every social media because he's so crazy. He's like one of those really aggressive pastors. Like
That sounds like a perfect person to ask. Am I
right? Yeah, you're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
They do that shit behind closed doors, you know what I'm saying, historically. So
Yeah, we'd have to ask him for fucking like kids. I mean, like Mark doesn't like kids, but that, you know.
No,
true.
just a children's author.
Anyways, guys, make sure to check out Mark on all his socials. They're all linked in the description. If you guys fuck with him, his personality, check out the new album, Crockett. Croquet. I still did it wrong. That's the sport, right? That you fucking. Make sure to check out Mark's new album. Keep an eye out for the book. I'm excited for that. And listen to my two favorite songs. I'm gonna link them down there too, so you guys can fucking listen to them because this fucker still hasn't put them on Spotify. American Product and Young Walter White. And let me know what you guys think of those down in the descriptions after you listen to them. Check them out. If you guys want to watch more Brand Risk, there's shit up there. You can click. Edwin, point up to your left. Yeah, there. No, your left. Just your left. Put your right hand. There you go. Where his arm is, just click that bitch. More vlogs, whatever it is. Mark, thanks for coming on, dude.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
Enjoyed it.
whether you guys are listening on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube, we'll see you guys the fuck later. Thanks so much for making it to the end. Peace.